Hey guys, what is up? We are currently hiking in the woods right now, and we are gonna go sledding before we make this awesome sugar cookie recipe inspired by my chef again. So we are currently in the wood, guys, right here. Look at how nice it looks. We are walking to the giant hill, and this is a lot of thorns. Alright guys, it's also cool because there's quads that ride over here, make the trail easier. And there's some cool artifacts in the wood, like this old car. Guys, we just finished sledding at that area. We are trying to find another hill, but over here looks very steep. Oh, I see it! Okay, guys, we are gonna go travel another sledding location. Look how nice this is. That's actually very nice. Well guys, we are gonna start walking back now, and now I'm gonna make the sugar cookie recipe, so let's go. Hey guys, what is up? I just got back from sledding. Now let's start this easy to make sugar cookie recipe. Alright guys, let's get started with this easy to make sugar cookie recipe now. So go ahead and pause if you need to look at the directions or ingredients, but let's get started with measuring out our dry ingredients first. So first off, we're gonna get 4 cups of flour, so make sure you get a heaping scoop and make sure you level off with a palette knife. And it is also important that we sift all of our flour because we do not want any clumps or clouds in our sugar cookie. So go ahead and repeat that 4 times, and then we're going to measure out some cornstarch next. Alright, just make sure you keep on repeating this process because it is important. Alright, now let's measure out our cornstarch. So make sure you get 1/3 of a cup of cornstarch, and make sure you get that heaping scoop out and level it off with the knife like so. It is also important to sift this because cornstarch has a lot of chunks. So now let's measure our salt. So we are going to measure out 3 1/4 teaspoons of it, but I did a teaspoon at first, which was a mistake. But do 1/2 teaspoon first, and then your 1/4 teaspoon, and make sure you level this off as well. And once you're done measuring this out, just go ahead and stir it thoroughly until all the ingredients are combined. Alright, after we're done measuring our dry ingredients out, let's start our creaming process. So go ahead and measure out a cup of granulated sugar, make sure you get that heaping scoop, and add it into your mixing bowl. Now we are going to get a cup of softened butter, so that's 2 sticks of butter, and we are going to cream this for 5 minutes at speed 2 to 4. So just make sure it is creaming together like so, and make sure you scrape off the walls once in a while to make sure it is fully incorporated and creamed together properly. After we're done creaming the butter and sugar, now we're going to add in our eggs. So make sure you get 2 room temperature eggs, and make sure you mix in 1 at a time. You want to do 1 at a time so it incorporates properly, and make sure you scrape down the walls like so. Just go ahead and make sure you scrape it down because as you can see, some parts are not mixed well, and just continue mixing it, and once it is incorporated, just add in your next egg. As the egg is finishing up mixing, just add a teaspoon of vanilla extract. You could add any other ones like strawberry, peppermint, or whatever. And we are going to also add in a tablespoon of milk because apparently this recipe was too dry. After it's done mixing for a minute, just make sure you get all the bits that aren't mixed yet and make sure they're incorporated properly. After it's incorporated properly, just start adding in your dry ingredients slowly at a time. So just do a scoop at a time and make sure all the dry ingredients is mixed in before adding in more. And also scrape the bottom and make sure the bottom is also incorporated. After you're done mixing your dry ingredients should look like this. A little bit clumpy, but not too clumpy. Next off, get yourself a saran wrap and add in all your dough on it and pat it down a little bit. And we're going to freeze this for around 10 minutes. Or you can put in your fridge for a half an hour. But since I have no time, then I'm just going to put in the freezer. Once it is done being frozen, flour a surface out and cut half your dough out, and we are going to roll it out to a 1/4 inch thickness. So just go ahead and roll it out evenly and make sure it is evenly rolled out. Next off, get yourself a sheet tray or anything you want to bake on and just start molding out your cookies. So I'm using a circular egg molder for this because I couldn't find my circular cutter. So just keep on repeating this process and also preheat your oven at 350 degrees. So just go ahead and repeat the process and get close to one of another, and also re-roll your dough out and don't waste the excess dough. So just go ahead and repeat this with the rest of the cookies you got, and also be sure to not waste any of the dough because guess what, you're basically throwing out your money. After you're done with your first pan, just go ahead and plop it in the oven. So I got mine set for 350 for 10 minutes, and we are going to flip it halfway. Now your oven might need to be set at 375, but just adjust it to accordingly to yours. So we're halfway through, just flip it through and look at how beautiful our cookies are. After our cookies are done being baked, just leave it out for a couple minutes, and we are going to put it at a wired rack to finish off the cooling process. Once it is done cooling for 10 minutes, now let's taste test. Alright guys, here we go. Look at this sugar cookie. I've never, I guess you can make it into any kind of shape you want because a circle's kind of, I've never seen this really, but guess we'll do, let's try it. Okay, that tablespoon of milk definitely helped because there have been reports that this recipe has been too hard or too dry after being baked, but overall it's pretty good. Hard on the outside, soft on the inside. Overall, not a bad recipe. You did a good job, Chef Em. So next recipe is gonna be something by me. It's gonna be a crispy seafood noodle. That's Asian authenticated, I guess. So let's make that next. Thank you for watching. Please be sure to subscribe and drop a like below. Not bad.